This will be a demo for Node-Red part of the lab. So first launch Node-Red on your phone, then put IP address of your mobile device followed by :1880. That's the port number we will be using to access the Node-Red. Now import the data JSON content from the PDF provided for the lab. Now click on Flow 3 and open and edit the exec node. Put the command line to access your sensors data. Now check and edit the remaining nodes to avoid any errors. Now in HTTP request node, put the URL which you obtained from AWS IoT core followed by :8443 /topics of your choosing and QoS equals 1. Uh, you can choose any topic name. Now upload the certificates. Once you have verified that everything is correct, you can deploy the data. Deploy the flow. On IoT core, subscribe to the topic and publish it. On right hand side of the window right now, in debug window, we can see sensor data being passed as payload. On IoT core, we can verify whether the data being passed is correct. So this was my demonstration for the first part of the lab.
Hi, so I'm going to demonstrate the things board part of lab 9. So assuming you have things board already installed, you can start the service by sudo service things board start. And this is the terminal that's connected to an Amazon EC2 session. So I have installed things board in this session. So we can go ahead and start it. Usually this will take like 1 or 2 minutes, but in my case I have already started it earlier. So Yeah, so it's already started. And to access the things board, we use the EC2 IP address followed by :ADAD, and this is not necessary, the slash login. Okay, so here we will find a login page, and the credentials we'll be using to log in is tenants at thingsboard.org, and the password is tenant. This is a default manager account, so we can manage the devices inside. Okay, so in thingsboard, we want to set up our new device, and we want to plot a graph from that device data. So first we come to device, and we are going to create a new device. So press this plus icon, add new device. Let's say lab 9 video. Device type select default, and add it. So here we are going to have a so we are going to identify this device by using an access token. So in the Node-RED, we can send some data using this token, and the things board can identify that the data we send is associated with this device named Lab9 video. And we should also make it public for it to be accessible. Okay, so let's go back to Node-RED. In here, we have the same setup as before in AWS, but instead of sending data to AWS, we are going to send it to Thingsboard. So let's start up my phone. So we have to modify this HTTP request from the AWS method. So here previously it was we will parse the URL to AWS, but now we are going to change it to the thingsboard URL. So see, here is the same IP address, 52 point blah 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 :8080 here, and following this is the API format that thingsboard require. So /API/v1, that is the fixed. We will always use this value, and following that is the device token that we copied earlier. This is to tell the thingsboard that the data belongs to which device. So we are going to paste the value we have earlier, and /telemetry. Telemetry is just a data topic that thingsboard subscribes to. So yeah, we can oh, and under when we are doing the AWS, we had SSL enabled. This time we won't need to have enable it, so take this off. And okay, so let's deploy. And let's see if it is going through. Okay, here we are seeing return messages from the thingsboard, and the status code 200 usually means it's successful. So let's look at the Node-RED from the beginning. Let's turn this off. Okay. So from the sensor data, seems like it cannot parse the value, but after JSON parses the sensor data, we can see that it will become an object which looks like this, an object and with an array size of 3. And so these are the sensor values. So after we parse it to JSON format, we are going to extract out the value of the zero of the array index 0 only. We don't care about the other value. And so as you can see here, we only extract the value of array index 0. And so now we have an object that looks like this with the value of light sensor. We also tag that value as the light sensor variable. But now we still have like an object, a JSON object. So this node will parse that object into kind of a string, into a JSON string like this. So now instead of an object value, we have a string value of light sensor equals to whichever value the sensor is, and and we also tag the time within the within this function. We also pass the time value, current time, as you can see here, timestamp. And so finally, this string value is sent with the HTTP request that we talked about earlier to this link, which is identified by this device token ID. Yeah, and we can build a return message using this debug module. And so to confirm that we received the sensor data, we come back to our device in the things board, and we go to the telemetry attributes to see if like previously telemetry will be blank, similar to this, but after we send some data from the Node-Red, it will update itself and store the data into key value format. And as you can see here, it is continuously updating, so it means that the data is is continuously coming through to this things board. And so to better visualize this data, we can make it into a graph by but we can better visualize it to a graph. So just click on the variable we're interested in and show on widget, and the format we want here is chart, and time series plot is a pretty would be the best visualization of this data. And we can make a new dashboard directly from this page. So let's make a new dashboard called video, and open the dashboard from this directly. Okay, so here we can see that the sensor value is visualized, and on the bottom right you can see the average value. So to better demonstrate this, I will cover my hand on the sensor. So this sensor is a light sensor, right? So if I cover my hand, it won't receive any light, and as you can see, the value goes down to 0. And when I don't cover the sensor, it is around 50 or 60. And so next I'm going to place the sensor next to a lamp, and we can see that it will detect a lot of light, and as you can see the value goes up to like 5,000 or 6,000. And now I'm not placing it next to a lamp anymore, so it dropped down. Yeah, so that's a demonstration of getting the sensor value from my phone and pass it into Node-RED, and then finally doing some manipulation and visualizing it in ThinkSpot.